Hello everybody and welcome to another Twinkly tutorial. I'm Twinkly Tanya and today I'm gonna show you how to build a basic building. We're gonna build this building actually together, and it might seem like it's not the easiest building in the world, but trust me, it's not that hard, and I'm gonna show you how to make this. But first, let me show you how to even construct anything at all. We go to the construction menu over here where you want to spend most of your time probably when you're building. And you see all these icons to the left here. If we go to architecture, for example, and we click on walls over here. So we have all these main menus over here, and we have these sub menus over here. And even the sub menus have sub menus. So you can this is meant to make you find stuff easily. We go to walls over here, and the first thing you can see is that there is a hashtag in the corner of these pieces, and that means that these pieces are pieces that go on a grid. So if we select a wall piece like so, you see that there's a grid around it like so, and if we place it, then everything else that we place is connected to that same grid. So even if I place it all the way over there, this is still seen as the same building or the same group. As you can see up in the top right, it's both group 28. Let's press Ctrl Z to get rid of that item, because that would be a very weird building. But if we go to, well, maybe not wall pieces, but let's say columns over here, you see that there's no hashtag here, which means that we can place them anywhere we want. This also counts for windows, for example. Let's have a window or a door over here. You see that this item can be placed anywhere. The grid seems to be gone even. Trust me, it's still there. But this it doesn't show because this item can be placed anywhere. Now, if you see that it snaps on to the wall, that's because I have certain things enabled here. I have position snap enabled and position snap rotation. That means that it snaps to the wall and it snaps in a rotation that makes sense to the wall, if that makes sense. If I turn that off, it will still snap onto the wall, but in the way that it is placed when I first clicked on it. So this item lies on the ground. This is a little bit bigger, so you might see it better. And I can snap it onto the wall, but it will stay like this. So position snap rotation is very important. Now, if I would turn both of them off, there is no position snap either, and I can place this freely wherever I want. So yes, and this only works, the rotation button only works together with the position snap button over here. Now it snaps to the middle of the building or of this tile. If I want to place it somewhere else on a tile, all you have to do is press F, and you just have to press it once. You don't have to hold it, and then you can move it anywhere you want on the wall. Now, if that's the thing that you don't want, if you want to place it in the direct middle, you press F again, and there you go. It snaps onto the middle of the tile. This is very, very handy to know, so keep that in mind. Now, if I place this down like this, I can click on the item and click the X button to get this these arrows here, which mean that I can put them anywhere I want. I can place them a little bit further in the wall if I wanted to, or I can make it float. This is very precise. If you want to turn stuff or rotate stuff even more precise, you press X another time. And here we go into the advanced rotation mode, in which case I can use these circles to rotate it into any direction that I want to rotate it in. Right now it rotates at an angle, it snaps onto a position. If I don't want it, if I want it even more precise, all I have to do is just click on this thing, make sure that there's no check mark, and now I can rotate it without snapping onto anything. So this is like for super precise movements. All right, these are the very, very basics. Now let's get into the building, and let's try to make that building that we saw before. All right, now the first thing I always do when I build is I make the grass short because nothing is more um, irritating than long grass sticking out your objects and you cannot see whether your objects are placed perfectly on the floor. So there's a short tip for you. Make your grass, like mow your grass before you start building. All right, so first what we want to do is place a wall. So we go to wall pieces. Again, you find this under architecture, then walls, and then wall pieces. This only shows you the wall pieces, and that's super, super handy to start with. Now, I find this a little bit overwhelming at times, and you might too. So what you could do is go into filters over here, and here you can check out all the filters that you like. You can even create your own over here if you set a tag to one of the items over here. But you can filter on material over here, which is asphalt, glass, whatever. So if you want a wooden building, make sure that you check this, for example. And if you go to property, you can find specific sizes or whether it's climbable, which is important if you want to make a climbing structure for your monkeys, for example. If you can put text on it. Flexicolor means if there's if there's different colors available, if you can set your own color to the piece. And grid prop means that it's an item with a hashtag over here. And then there's theme as well, which is very handy because those items go very well together. So I'll advise you to just stick with one theme for your first building and just browse through all the items of that specific theme. And then there's brand as well, in case you want to see all the items that belong to Chief Bee, for example, or Gulpy or whatever, if you want to build a certain shop. So let's go to theme and let's build a classic building. So that's what we'll do. And we are gonna create an ice cream shop. So let's go to guest facilities. As you see, I'll have to change my menu over here. We'll go to guest facilities. We'll plop down a ice cream shop, and I rotate using the Z button. Yes. There's no power, so yeah, my staff will move someplace else. And what else? Let's have some milkshakes together with the ice cream. So we'll plop that down as well. There we go. And there we go. We have our ice cream shop. So very important, by the way. If you plop these down, let's actually go back. So you see that the grid forms on these items as well, just as it did for the construction items. Now, if I want to place another shop here, I can place this anywhere and it belongs to the same building. So if you want like two entrances very far from each other, you can just place it here and it is still the same building, and you will be able to connect paths on the grid very easily as well. So if you want to make sure that everything is connected properly, then make sure that it's on the same grid. You cannot change two buildings that are on different grids. You cannot put them together on a grid later on. So make sure that you do that from the start. So let's plop down these two thingies. We have so many vendors now without a job. I'm sorry, vendors. And let's go back to construction. And our classic theme is still remembered by the game, so that is great. Now the first thing that we will do is cover these window pieces, and for that we have this thing, the brick wall, or well, in this case the brick wall, but a shop front. This works for staff buildings as well. Now, as you can see, it plops down on top of the building. Because I have auto stacking selected over here, I can turn that off, and right now it is it just stands on the ground and it connects anywhere that we can connect it. Now you want to make sure, also if there's not a shop, but you want to make sure to connect it to the inside of a square. As you can see, that the building fits a square perfectly, and I can either place it here on the outside of the square, or I can place it here, which is on the inside of the square. If I would place it on the outside, then it would cause weird connections and stuff like that. So place it on the inside. Very, very important. Also over here, this will help you with roofing later on as well, and just things connect better if you do that. Now we want to have a normal wall. We can get rid of this item with escape, and all the heights of the buildings in this, or all the heights of the facilities, let me say that, the facilities, the shops and everything, they are all 4 meters high. So what you need to do is find the wall that is 4 meter high. I mean, you can also connect two different walls that are 2 meters and stack them on top of each other, but like the basic wall is always 4 meters. So let's connect that one. And again, the inside of the square, so not here, but here. And we connect both of these. And over here as well. And see how this forms a perfect square. Like everything is connected properly over here. So there we go. Now we need a roof. So let's go to roof pieces. And again, like roofs and floors is the sub menu, and then there's a sub menu. Let's go to pitched roofs for now, but there's also flat roofs over here. There's roof decorations and roof trims, so it is all organized perfectly. Let's see, let's scroll down because I like this roof a lot. The slate roof over here, I like that one. So there's all these different kinds of pieces. You can go crazy in this game with your roof pieces. There's and right now I want my my auto stacking back on because my roof piece is now sticking in the building, and I want it to stack onto the building because that is helpful. You can rotate it with Z like this. So yeah, you have these pieces, which is basically a complete roof, but they only come in 2 sizes. So usually you'd want to choose one of these pieces over here, which is have a roof piece, and then you can like connect them in any way you want and make your roofs as high as you want. There's also corners over here, so there like anything is possible in this game, honestly. For now, for this building, I want to have a ready-made roof. This one over here, because I think it looks adorable. There we go. And we have a roof. Now, technically, we're almost done because all we need to do is fill these gaps in. If you already know what roof you want, you can... where are my walls? Over here? Because we need to go back to walls for that. If you already know what you want, you can like build your walls exactly the way you want and then add the roofs later. But in the beginning, maybe you want to play with your roofs first, see what shape it comes in, and then just fill the gaps. That might be the easiest way. So yeah, for roofs, we want these triangular pieces over here or over here. In this case, I think this one fits, which it does. It just snaps onto that immediately. Now, this auto stacks, it's fine. I don't have to check the mark, like uncheck the mark every single time. I can just press shift and then automatically it goes under. If it doesn't, just press move your mouse down and that's it. There we go. Now, if I wanted to do this more precise, I could have also changed the grid height over here. Right now, the grid height is 2 meters, which means that, well, this happens. I can also turn it down to 0, in which case I have a more precise control over the roof piece. And there's even 4 meters, in which case I can change it a whole floor. Usually, it doesn't work right now. It still does the 2 meter grid height. There's still bugs in this game. It will be fixed at some point. Yes, same goes for grid size, by the way. Right now, the grid size is 4 meters. Whoops, sorry for that. Let's actually get a grid piece so you can see the grid. So right now, the grid is 4 meters, as you can see. If we make that shorter, you see that the squares change, and I can place it like in between stuff as well. So that might come in handy as well. In Planet Coaster, we had a 1 meter grid as well, which was super useful. Please bring it back. Anyway, the building is done. This is a finished building. Like, it already looks an infinite amount better than what it used to be, but it still looks incredibly boring. So I want to make it a little bit nicer, to make it look like a proper building that you could actually find outside. And first of all, these roof pieces, they need some more length, I feel. Usually roof pieces have an eave. So let's go back to roofs and we go to roof trims. And there you find everything here at the bottom. It's the set that belongs to this roof. Like every roof set has their own trims. So be sure to check in the roof trims every time you build a roof. We go to an eve corner because these roofs were corner pieces, so we need to find another corner piece, and we can do this. We can do this corner piece over here, which is exactly the right height. But what I like to do is pick a corner piece that has a different angle, like so, because then our roof gets a curve. So, tiny designer tip here. See, like that. So, our roof is curving over here, which I always think looks adorable. So you can experiment with that as well. The other thing that it lacks is windows, and I mean, yeah, there's these shop windows, but there's no windows, and where does the staff go inside? You know, there's no door either. I know that they jump back and forth through the window, but let's actually give them a door and some windows. So we go to windows, and all these windows fit perfectly because we're in a classic theme. I love this window so much because it's, look how perfect this fits. So let's go for this window over here, and let's have a window over here as well. This over here we will save for the door, and we'll have a window over here as well. And unlike in Planet Coaster, these windows, they just snap on perfectly in the exact middle of. I mean, you could do it in Planet Coaster as well while pressing F, but I feel that in Planet Zoo things snap way better. So building is easier actually in this game. Now let's find a door. We go to doors over here, and there's all these beautiful doors. Let's actually get rid of the window by pressing escape. There's all these beautiful doors, but a lot of them are way too big. This one is a little bit meh, I feel. I like this one. I like the classic door. And as you can see, it snaps on to the middle of the grid piece. So, of course you want your door on the floor and not just hanging there. So what you do is you press X, and then you get these arrows, and then you can just drag down the door very carefully, like so. And then you press the, or you click the check mark over there. This is how you do it. It's placed perfectly in the middle of this thing, but now it's on the floor and people could actually get in. I mean, I know they don't, but let's just assume that they will. Let's actually go back to windows because I think something is lacking here as well. And we have these beautiful round windows over here. So let's actually, and pop, it pops into place, and it pops into place again. There we go. Now we have some nice attic windows over there. Now, the front really needs to be dealt with still because it's really boring at this point. And you can do a lot around these windows over here. For that, we go to this particular place, awnings and fascias. I hope that I pronounced that second word correctly because I don't know. And here you have all the things that you can use to wrap around the windows. For example, well, this doesn't snap in the right place, but for example, this thing, you know, stuff like this. Every theme has these, whatchamacallit, frames. Yes. Very standard English word. I just lost it though. But for this one, let's go for this specific one because look at those bricks. Isn't that amazing? And now the thing is, it doesn't really snap on over here because it doesn't like the window that much. What I like to do, like I could try to do this with a precise movement tool, but what I like to do is to zoom out, go up here, and now it snaps on like the second floor. And while there's nothing there, I know that it's now positioned exactly in the middle. So again, if it doesn't happen, press F and it will happen. For now, I will press X. So I go into this menu again, and now all I have to do is just drag it down. It is so much easier if you already have one of these positions, like either the horizontal or the vertical position, if you know that already. So let's put it on the floor, like so. And we hit the check mark. There we go. And now I want a similar one to the, or the exact same one to the left. And I want it to be in the exact place as this one. I don't want it to be a millimeter off. So what I do is I don't leave this menu. If you did though, you can always go back by clicking the thing and pressing X, and you get these arrows again. Just make sure that you have these arrows over here, and you can just click the piece and it will create an exact copy over here. I will click another piece so you can see what I mean. So I click this piece. You know what? Let's actually do this first. So I click this this awning over here, and it snaps exactly in the middle of this piece. And all I have to do is just drag it up over here. And we can even like go underneath and check if it's in the right position and everything. Like, okay, let's say I want it here. There we go. Perfect. And now I click the check mark. Now what I want is copy both of them and put them here actually. So I go out of the menu, make sure to select them both like so. And what I can do now is press Control X. If you forget about all these controls, you can always find them here. Like the advanced move rotate button is here. You can click on that as well instead of pressing X. And the one that I just told you is duplicate and advanced move. It's Control X always. But make sure there's no arrows. If the arrows are there, you cannot do the Control X part. You just have to click the item in the menu then, like I did with the awning. But now we can press Control X. You get these arrows, and it has duplicated a window exactly in the same spot here. So we just have to drag it out like so. And there we go. We have the exact window, the exact awning. It is in the exact same position. We just hit the check mark and we're done. There we go. Now this building looks amazing already. Like this could totally be a building in real life. So you could be done right now. But if you want to make it even more prettier, my God, grammar, Tanya. If you want to make it even prettier than this, stay with me because we're going to add some decorations. For example, something on the roof. There's not really anything on the roof. So let's go back to roofs over here. And we go to roof decorations over here. There's not much in the classic theme. I mean, there's lots of stuff in the other themes as well, but let's just stick with the classic theme for now. There's not really a chimney that fits because this chimney is huge over here. So that wouldn't really fit this small building. But what could work is, for example, this weather vane over here. There we go. And now I wanted to snap on straight, obviously, but as you can see, it just makes this weird, like it's not straight. You can always go, so there's two things you can do. You can either go into the advanced movement tool by pressing X twice, but then we'll have to do it really precise because this is a really weird angle. So what I like to do is find a place on the building in which it snaps on the right angle, like so, or at least a 90-degree angle, like so, because then you can turn it way easier. But you know what? It snapped on into the right position over here. So now I'm pressing X once and I can just drag it up to where it needs to be. And it is perfectly straight. It doesn't snap on into a weird position, and I don't have to do weird things to make it work. So we'll move it over here like so. And well, I actually like to turn it because now when I look at the shop, I cannot see the thing at all. So I press X another time and I want to move it around. But again, I want to do it in a perfect degree of 90 degrees. What I can do now is click angle snap over here, and now I get this perfect angle over here. If I hadn't done that, I had the more precise rotation. Like let's turn it off. If I turn it off, like I can be so much more precise, but I will lose my angle forever. So don't do that. If it's okay, it's okay, you know. If it works, it works. Don't make it harder on yourself than it already is. Now we might want to have a shop sign, so that's over here under signs. There we go. And you know what? Let's have this one because well, that fits the shop, because we can get rid of the classic one for now because there's actual shop signs. We can search for ice cream over here, but you see these are huge for one, and also they don't fit the style, so I don't like to use them a lot actually. And this one is huge. This one is huge. What we could do is place one of these, one of the floor ones. I press Z, and I just use my mouse to rotate it like so. And yeah, we'll do that for the milkshake one as well. We'll click on it, we'll rotate using Z, and we put it down over here. But I still want a shop that tells people from afar that this is a shop and what it sells. So I'm going back into my classic theme over here, and we're still in signs. And now I want to place this sign on the building. I cannot really snap it in the exact middle over here because, like I said, it snaps in the middle of a grid piece, and that would be, well, here. I don't want that, but I can figure out the middle quite okay by using the roof. There we go. Now this is a sign that you can edit. Just click on the sign and then a menu pops up over here. And you can write down a text over here. So let's call this one Ice Cream World, like that. We press enter and there we have it. You can change fonts over here. Well, that doesn't look so much different, but it is. You can change the font to whatever you like. You can change the color to whatever you like. You can change the color of the sign even over here to whatever you like. But for now, let's leave it like this because it looks amazing, actually. These colors fit the building very well. And what then? Maybe you would like a... you want some things, some decorations around the building. I mean, this is perfectly fine. You can save the building as it is and use it as a template for like all your ice cream needs. But I like to add a little bit more detail to my buildings. So let's go to props. This is where you find just decorative stuff that belongs to each pack. The classic one doesn't have a lot, but for example, the African pack has a huge amount of props. So just browse through all the props, and you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to use things of a specific theme, but it's just easier if you're starting out with the whole building thing to have stuff of the same theme, so it will not stress you out too much and it's not too overwhelming. So let's see, what about this this thing over here? We can make a line for the people who you know what you call them, I don't know. We can just make sure that the lines are divided and everything. So we press Z, we move it around because we want to connect the chain to this. So we'll just place this one here in the middle, I guess, like so. And well, I want to have some others as well. So I'm pressing Ctrl X to create a copy, and I'm stretching it out. Well, that was not exactly straight, so I'll have to do some tweaking here. There we go. And I'll press the thing again. You can see that it's selected because it has a blue hue over it, which I hope that they will get rid of, but for now it's there. Ctrl X again, and we can drag this out over here. I hope they will get rid of it because it's hard to see the colors if you want to change colors of a thing. But for now, it's actually pretty handy to see. Okay, there we go. Now, what I want is a metal chain. So I click on the metal chain, and because I have position snap enabled, it will snap onto this thing perfectly fine, like so. And another time, and another time. Again, I don't think Planet Coaster did this, so yay. Or I just didn't know, but this is, yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't do it. This one I'll have to rotate myself again, though, so I'll have to use my camera to see where the chain exactly is. And there we go. And over here as well, like so. And then this one. And I feel that they are not positioned exactly straight. No, they're not. But that's okay. We can fix that. We will select all the 3 pieces over here. Like so. And now we press X and X again to get into that fine movement. And yeah, we will now move all the pieces that we selected all at once. Like so. Let's see. Well, this seems to be quite straight actually. Let's press X and we'll move it in the middle as well. There we go. I actually like that this is slightly angled, but then we'll have to do it on this side as well, right? So let's actually... so we press Shift and then we click on all the items that we want to select. That is how easily you can select items in build mode. We press X again. Like, when in doubt, press X. That's basically... that's my whole tutorial. When in doubt, press X. Seriously, though, it is the most important button in the whole game. Especially in like, the build mode. Just, yeah, X. X all the way. And I'm trying to give it a similar angle as on the other side. Something like that. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, people placed this here, right? People built this. People are not perfect. So yeah, there you go. What else? You know what? Let's add some foliage around the build as well. Or maybe, well, maybe something to the back. Now that we're in this menu, we can add one of these tabs over here. There we go. Well, it snaps onto the building, which I don't want. So I will turn position snap off so I can place it super precisely without it snapping onto the wall. There we go. So really just play around with those check marks and everything, because that really helps a lot. Now let's actually place some foliage around the building to make it look even nicer. For that, we will go to nature. And over here you have this button gardening, which gives us a lot of nice flowers. It gets rid of all the trees and stuff. It's just the flowers. And there's also some planters in this case. And there's more, but I have... No, wait. I don't have the classic theme enabled here. So there's not more. This is it, guys. Yeah, let's place this planter here. This looks awesome. Let's see. I want to place it directly against the wall. I think this is perfect. Yep, seems to be fine. If not, though, well, it could be a little bit further to the back. So we'll press X, and we just use these arrows to place it even better. There we go. Now we need to fill it. And you can obviously just grab a plant and just hover it over the thing and just click it, but sometimes you want it to be in the exact middle again, especially if it's a round planter, or in this case we might actually do a long row of things. So we will press X, make sure that we get these arrows, and now everything that we will pick will appear right in the middle of this. Like, well, okay, this one we cannot even see. I'll have to select a bigger one because it will appear like in the middle, so it's a little bit too far down. We can actually pull this up. Like so. And everything we click will appear right in the middle there. So that is very, very useful. Which one do I want? Yes, I found the one that I like. It's a twin flower, and it's this one over here. And yeah, as you can see, when I placed it, it appeared right in the middle, and all I had to do was turn it with the X button. There we go. And there we have our flower. I want to add some more flowers, so I'll drag this one a little bit more to the front, and then we can add some to the back of it, because I don't know, I want it to be fuller, and also these are all at the same height, and I don't feel plants do that, so I'm dragging this down a little bit, like so. And there's all these twin flowers over here, so just let's just grab... Whoops! See, we had to click X actually. So, but we can get it back. We're just clicking it again. Not X, this check mark right there. You have to click it first. But then if you click any other, it will just appear right in the middle there as well. And we can just move it anywhere we want. There we go. And I want to pull it up a little bit more, and we'll press X. You know, if you want to add stuff later, if this is what you have, you can just add stuff later as well and just place it at places that you like. Now, what I like to do is turn things around so they're not all in the same direction. And let's have one of these as well. And let's press X, see if we can get that a little bit further up. There we go. And there we have it. A bunch of flowers. Maybe we could even have... Is this the smallest one we have? Yes, maybe we could even have a small one right in the middle here to make it even fuller and to have a little bit more depth there, you see? Like so, and we'll pull that up here because it misses some height there. There we go. Now what I want to do is copy this one exactly to the other side. So again, I'm using Shift to select all of these. Hopefully. I mean, I might miss a few, but that's okay. We'll press Ctrl X and we can drag this whole... Oh, well, no, I did it correctly. I thought it only had the flowers and not the planter, but everything is fine. And we'll place that there. Now, you might remember that we had the larger flowers at the top. So what I want to do is rotate it. I will press angle snap so that I can rotate it precisely and that it will be in the correct angle towards the house. I can turn that off again. And I will, whoops, wrong key, wrong arrow. I needed the red one. We'll have to place it against the house like so. There we go. Now I see that indeed something is missing there, so I am just getting a few more plants and filling the gaps right there. This is fine. Well, it's almost done. What I like to do is to have a little back area as well. You don't have to, obviously. This works perfectly fine. But I like to have a little back area over here as well. So let's just say that they have hedges, because that fits this style of build perfectly fine. We'll place it against the wall. And as you can see, this hedge is actually meant to go in a planter. That's why we see the roots. But there's no reason why it cannot just grow here. So we'll just place it here. We will hold Shift and we will drag our mouse down until the hedge is on the grass, like so. Now again, we click the thing, we press X, and we select a corner hedge over here. We drag it out. It is not rotated correctly, so again, make sure angle snap is on. You press X again, and you rotate the thing. And then you press X again to go back into the arrow menu, and you can just drag it into any position you want. Let's make sure that that's connected properly, like so. And there you go. A perfect seamless connection over here. And you wouldn't have gotten it so seamlessly if you hadn't pressed X. Dare me. I mean, you can, but it would take an awful lot of long time. The arrows are still there, so that's good. We don't have to press anything. We just have to click on the thing that we want, which is another one of these. There we go. And again, to make it at the exact same height, I'm just pressing it again, even though I'll have to rotate it, but that's fine. Whoops, that was already on. I just had to press X to go into this menu. I need to rotate it. Let me see, did I rotate that correctly? Yes, we'll press X again. And we can place that perfectly against the wall over here. Like so. One last piece, one last corner piece, and then we're done with the hedge. And all we need to do after that is getting some lights on our build. Details on your build really make your build stand out or not. So yes, do that, please. get details on your build, because that really makes it stand out. Now this door is not in the right place anymore, so I'll press X and I'll just drag it out until here. You know what, I might actually drag it until here so it connects very well there. And now I want a piece that connects until here, so I'll press X again to get the arrows. I'll press the hedge, and now I'm not dragging it out all the way, but just until the edge of the door right there. There we go. And we have our doorway over there. Now let's add a light. We'll go back to construction. Our classic theme is still there. We go to lights. And what about this beautiful, beautiful wall lamp over here, which is not in the right place because I made sure that position snap was off and rotation snap. So we turned that back on because we wanted to snap onto the wall like so. It snaps in a weird position because it snaps in the middle. That's fine. We can either press F or we can press X and then move it ourselves. I will just press F so I can place it wherever I want, like so. Let's have one here as well. It doesn't snap on. We'll have to select it again. There we go. For some reason, this is off. I don't know. I don't know why that happened. But it's back on. And let's put that one here. There we go. That's it. We have our building over here. Now all you need to do is connect your paths and everything. Place some foliage around it, and that's it. I like to go to terrain, get some soil over here. I will do a terrain tutorial very soon, but I will place some soil over here. Did I do that actually? Yes, it's just very very dark over here, but I'll place some soil here because people walk here, you know, just in those tiny details that make your zoo stand out. And of course, what we need to do is connect a path there as well. And why not go for a gravel path perfectly? So yeah, we use what we learned in our tutorial, in the first tutorial. We can connect it like this, but it's so much more easier to just align it to the grid, connect it this way, and then you can have a perfect path like this. You can even make an entire food square this way. And there you have it. Our build is done. We just need to place some trees around it and everything, and then it's ready to go. So I hope this helped. If it did, please give the video a like and consider subscribing for some other tutorials as well. And there's also a playthrough on my channel. There will be speed builds, and in my speed builds I will try to not build Taj Mahal, you know, every single time, because there's enough speed builds of those out there. Also, I'm not skilled enough yet, but I want to do some speed builds which show you that building is not that hard and that you can do this as well. So I hope that this strengthens your belief in that as well. Please let me know if it did, and please also let me know what else you would like to see. If I went too fast somewhere, if you want to have a tutorial about a specific detail or about something else entirely, please let me know in the comments, because that really helps me to know which videos I will make for you. And I will see you in my next video. Have a lovely, amazing day, and stay twinkly.